you see how you conduct yourself really exposes who you interact with on a daily basis. Because you know, in certain ecosystems, certain behaviors are not acceptable. So the fact that you're even doing that shows me who you interact with, how you interact with them, and what level your interaction's on. Take back control. Stop letting algorithms decide your news. Get uncensored history and real knowledge to strengthen your mind, body, and spirit. Watch ad-free content now at iNeverKnewTV.com preview.
Well, let me hear you say mountain, mountain, mountain.
Yes, fella.
Serious thing. We are here again. Bald head in the dread. Last week we had to have a little siesta. You know that go already fired, but we here back and we get things same way. Fire, let the people know about what's coming up on the scene, you know?
Yeah, them deep in the exodus and the movement, but we have a next event. The next event coming forward, it will be 420. Can hold a vibes with the ball and the dread. And the Vital Shop, same way, Vital Kitchen, 1032 Union Street, April 20. So there them can just lock in the date and come all a different vibration, good meditation, more information to come, you know?
No, serious thing. And I believe the Griggs brothers will be there on the 1 and 2s, also special guest selectors. And we will be in the back based on the weather, but April it should be a vibe. And we have heaters there nonetheless for the people that get a little frigid.
Different
Same
energy.
way, you know? So we have the back and we'll be in the front. We'll be in the Vital Shop. So we'll be enjoying. Make sure you come through and look out. When the tickets are ready, we will let you know. Fire, what we reason about today?
Yeah, to the way reason about being a man of your word, being a person of your word, because I feel like with the vast majority of people, it's like people just utter words nowadays for just settings. They don't really think about the concept or the implication of what is being said. You understand? And we always hear about action speak louder than word, but really and truly from the beginning, that word was your word was supposed to be a bond from the beginning before you even carry out that action. And it seemed like we lose touch of the reality today, you know?
No, a serious thing, Farah. And I'll kickstart it. And I just have to let people know that your actions build your brand, right? And you are a brand, regardless, not just in the marketing standpoint, but as a human being, you're a brand. Like, what do people think about you? What do they think about you? What do they think about your own word when they say something? If you know how I go when a man says something, right? He just like, you in your head, yeah, right. Because consistently, we already know, especially if you know him, you know how this person's operate. His brand is that he's unreliable and he's a liar and he likes to talk. And we just work with him. We know how to navigate it, right? So I think what you have to ask yourself is, what does your brand say about you? What does your brand say about you? You know, are you a person that holds your word? Are you a person that communicates? You know, me and Farah are supposed to connect Friday. I think Friday.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Friday. I didn't call him at the time. You know, I didn't call him close to the time. I called him earlier in the time. See if I can't work. Can we work? Matter of fact, I think I did it from the AM. Hit him. Hey, let's reschedule for Sunday. We here today making it work, you know? So it's just like, what does your brand say about you? I think that's the first thing we need to talk about, Fire. What does your brand say about you? When people interact with you, right, and they're talking behind your back, right? Are they saying this is a solid person? You know, this is a principled person. This is a person who's a man of his word, or is it a joker? And that's one of the things I learned in business, man, is just like, you know, just being solid takes you a long way. You may not make as much money up front as the scammer and the sweet talker. See what I said up front, because you'll have a long-term thing to have a short-term thing. But in regards to that respect, that comfortability that people have and that return customer, it'll benefit you long-term, you know, and moving it from a personal standpoint. You don't want to be that person that people always side-eyeing because your words don't match your actions.
Yeah, you know the funniest thing, most people are always thinking about people, what people think about them, but they only think about what people think about them for the sake of it's like it's an adrenaline rush, right? Or people talking about me. You know that whole concept of I got haters and all of this thing, but nobody don't really think about the concept of the representation as we are saying. I think this is a very serious topic where how do you represent yourself and what are the things that you represent yourself with? Because it seems like it's just a norm for people think say if you tell a man Friday and you produce this result, two Fridays later, that's just normal. And then if somebody complain or they don't understand, it's like it's a culture of we always want people to feel sorry for it. And because we want people to feel sorry for us, then it's more like anything I say, there will be an excuse behind it, but excuse is valid, and that excuse is valid. And if you don't work with me after that, then automatically you're just an arrogant person who don't understand and who don't have feelings. Yes, we know the human side, but what we're saying is, if you tell a man, just like what I said a while ago, tell a man Friday, and you have a thing Friday 5 o'clock. So it's 5 o'clock Friday. You didn't know say you'd go late. You understand what I mean? I say what the concept of respect, you really go back to respect again. It's almost like you don't respect yourself first and foremost, and you don't respect people's time. You feel like people are just here, not they don't have anything else to do, and people could have something progressive to do, but you don't respect them enough. I feel like they should just understand your thing, and you don't give a time that heads up for make people know say, oh, this can't work, This so we could just see what else. Reality do come up. I will understand the reality, but where's the respect? And I feel like respect is almost like the basis of this concept we're talking about right now.
Respect, and also my wife's favorite word is inconsiderate. People are very inconsiderate of others. They don't think about others, as you stated. And I want to say one thing before we move forward, because I want you to push the reasoning forward, right? You see how you conduct yourself really exposes who you interact with on a daily basis. Because in certain ecosystems, certain behaviors are not acceptable. So the fact that you're even doing that shows me who you interact with, how you interact with them, and what level your interaction's on. As a human being, being a vessel of service to others. I'm not saying people should be stepping on you. I'm not talking about people taking advantage. I'm just, as a human being, being a serf, treating others how you want to be treated yourself, and a level of consideration. If I am running late, right? If I am running late, in my personal experience, unless it's an extreme accident, I know I'm going to be late about 4 hours before the time I need to be there. I can see how things are playing out, and I could tell that personally, for me, maybe 4 or 5 hours, I could tell like, fine, I might be late. I make a call, right? Hey, I may be late. Even if I get on time, out of consideration, especially if someone's really dependent on me, I'll try to get. Now, if it's an accident or something, I'm going somewhere, then obviously it's a quick call, right? How do you want to be treated? How do you want to be treated?
Remember, still enough, and no disrespect to a majority of the people, but most people, they don't even self-respect. And again, because ones don't respect themselves. And you mentioned the ecosystem, which I think is, if there is me, I fire some whole heap of shots with the top. The ecosystem is a very, because I have the privilege of being in a whole lot of different ecosystems. See? And we understand the ecosystem where a lot of people think small of themselves, and because they think small of themselves and the relationships that they've garnered over the years among themselves, this is a normal habit. So moving from that ecosystem to a next and realize that this is definitely not a normal habit, you automatically have some sort of resentment. And I feel like it's that resentment now that most people start build up when they realize that, you're in a professional space, or not even just professional, you're among some people who are serious about life, and these people are so serious about life that them take them time serious, because there's so much different things to do, and you only have 24 hours per day. So these people have to make sure that them think about every step where they make it have to calculated. Feel like all of that calculation is just overdoing it, or people are being robots, or people are not understanding your ecosystem. But you don't realize that life is bigger than just your little circle that you come from and the different things that you do, and you have to adjust, and there's improvements to make. But because most people feel like they are the complete SHIT, then it's just that concept, and there's a concept of, oh yeah, I am the man. You see me I say, and then that I am the man concept, what do you have to back it? So you understand, it's not like. And then if you even think about it from a financial aspect, how long, if you even say, all right, since finance is what everybody base their success off of, if you are financially stable, how long can you remain financially stable without respecting people time? Try that and you see how long you remain financially stable, since that's what you're basing it on. And then at the other end, most of the people who complain about finances or the lack of finances thereof, these are the people who don't respect people's time. So how can you complain about not having finances, not having all of the different things that you need when you don't respect people's time? You realize how they go hand in hand. The more the wiser you get, the different range of people you interact with, you realize how hand in hand that go together, and that really push you forward. Because the egotistic mindset, it really kill the people, where nobody can evaluate themselves. And because you can't evaluate yourself, everything what somebody said to you is almost like it's an offense right off the bat, even before the sentence even complete. Once it has to do with you, you don't want to hear anything about it because I am the complete man. Nobody can tell me anything at all. It's that type of mindset that drive this whole lack of respect for your man time and things like that.
No, reality far right. Two things I want to touch on is one, we can't mistake the ignorance for the incompetence, fire. Some people just incompetent, Then the next thing too, in regards to levels, you talk about people being in different spaces and the man feel away, think you're overreacting. That person at the wrong altitude. He's not ready to be up there yet. He's not ready to be around certain energy and certain levels. So they themselves need to find themselves and kind of, tighten up what they're doing before they go around certain people. Because as you know, when you're around certain people, fight is serious. They're serious about the bill. I'm a man, respect my time. Time, my most valuable asset. I could lose money. I can't get back no time, fight. So you can't waste my time. You can't waste my time. I don't waste my time, so I'm gonna let you waste my time. I don't waste my own time, so I'm gonna let you waste my time. But I want to talk to the brothers, man, and let them know that, listen, be careful what you commit to. That's the first thing you need to do. Be careful what you commit to. Verbal commitments is a serious thing. People just walk around saying, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to take care of this. No, it's a habit, and it's a terrible habit. And you're killing your brand, and you're flopping out yourself and making yourself look like a joke. So anyone listening, if that's a habit, it is what it is, right? We encourage you to change it. First thing I want you to do is first, when someone asks you something, take a little time to process this. At least just say, let me get back to you. Evaluate within yourself. One, do you have the time to do it? Are you capable of doing it? Or if you want to do it, right? Far right. Somebody said something. I forgot who said it, but someone was saying something how they put themselves in problems by committing themselves to take someone to the airport. It was something I watched online. It was funny, but it was a serious thing. It was some type of entertainer. And what he was saying is true. Basically, a friend wanted to ride to the airport, right? And he said, well, the reason he said no, because in the past, he put himself in too much problems. One, the time to pick up the friend, right? Two, it's that responsibility he has. If the friend get late, it's his fault. Everything comes on him now, and he don't want nothing to deal with it. I guess it's that particular friend. But analyze, do you have the time? Can you complete it? And if you can't, just say no. You're going to find yourself in more problems committing to stuff that you can't complete. Many brothers already have an issue of not completing stuff. So don't add that to the list. Because that messes with your confidence, right? When you don't complete stuff, it messes with your confidence. And by the way, I got a manhood workshop I'm working on that speaks about the importance of completing stuff, and you'll find about that later. But it really messes with your confidence when you set out to do something and you don't complete it, whether it's minute or big.
And I really want to add to it there, you say, because I think the concept of when we mention completing stuff, that sounds incomplete in itself to me. It's completing stuff on time, because I don't think most of the brothers them have a problem with completing stuff overall. Them have problems completing things on time for you, because again, Sunday and Monday is not the same thing. Like for example, I do music. I'm an artist. I ever evolving artist, always working. You think so? I have a song to mix. I have a song for mix. The first thing we're gonna ask an engineer is, what is the timeline? You say if an engineer produce it 10 week off schedule, then my project have to push back 10 weeks. So you're not even realize the implication. And if a man supposed to do an artwork and a man tell us say I do an artwork this week in a February, but him produce it in a March, then your project in turn have to push back 1 month. So most of the time people don't realize how much hurt them are cause to other people, environment, structure, livelihood, all of these different things. You put all of these different things on the line. You see the concept of your credibility. With you not being your credibility is completely destroyed when you are not a man of your word, and you don't only destroy your credibility, you destroy people's life, and you not even know, because what is simple to you, so as I mentioned, that's an example we use a while ago. One artwork to a man for push back his work, 1 month is throwing him off. You're throwing off his algorithm, you're throwing off his time, and you're throwing off all of his effort. And we don't see the domino effect where most of our bad behaviors them create. So that we really have to start to be more mindful, conscious, and then dimension the next thing. Saying no is not abnormal. Saying no is not. You should normalize saying no until you are ready to say yes. And that is a culture where we need to start take on fire, because automatically, one, you can't please everybody, because if you try to please everybody, then you're not gonna please yourself. You see me I say? And then two, when you think about the concept of knowing that you're not capable of doing every single thing, and you need to be mindful of what you're capable of doing and what you're not capable of doing, and stop lying to yourself.
All right, continue. I just want to add this in there. The quality of what you're doing too, fight. We want clear. Continue still. I just had to with this capability thing. The quality of the level you're able to do stuff. Because sometimes you commit to stuff you know nothing about, and I guess you could complete it, but how are you completing it? That's the next thing that mess up your brain and flop out yourself, you know? Sorry, Far.
No, but that them things are important, because we just try paint a picture to a man, say you have to think about the you see the end product is what we think about as human beings, and especially with from an egotistic mindset. We always think about this end product because we want to have something else over somebody, but we don't think about the whole concept of the process. So we are beating at the people in brain. The concept of the process is very important, and then when you have a process to an end product, and that end product is mediocre, are low or a high star, what do you use? What do you use to tell that end product is not the ultimate thing, or it needs to be worked on? If you're egotistic, you have to think that every single thing where you produce is good enough. So you have to just cut back on the ego now and start thinking to yourself, yo, this one really did produce, because we are comparing against, you have things you can compare against. There's a standard, there's a benchmark that you have to find against the work that you're doing to see what needs to improve. And if you don't hold yourself accountable against any form of benchmark, then which direction are you going to go? So being a man of your word is not just, oh yes, it's another conversation. Being a man of your word is supposed to be a lifestyle. It's supposed to be a movement. It's supposed to be a well-being. It's supposed to be every single thing for you. Because you see, if you're not a man of your word, then you're in trouble. You're in big trouble throughout your life, and you're going to create this domino effect where you're going to just destroy people's life over and over. So it's like a man take a gun, and then put a bullet to somebody head. It's the same concept, I feel like, you do when you're not a man of your word. You destroy lives, you destroy souls. You're not even understand the implication of what you're doing.
A serious thing, Far Right. And I also encourage the brothers too, man. One of the things that may help you be a better man of your word is practicing your time management, what I refer to as life management. Just like, everybody talk about budgeting, Far Right, like budgeting finances, and people need to budget their time, you know what I'm saying? Because everyone's day of time is different, different responsibilities, different situations, but you can modify that time to do certain things. Not saying you're going to do everything, but you can definitely do more than what you're doing. And I think the main thing that needs to be, if you're budgeting your finances, like what can I spend less on? What can I take out? You need to focus on taking out wasted time. What do I mean by wasted time? Pointless conversations, consumption of pointless media. Not saying that you can't do it, Fight, but you really need to tone down the amount of you're doing it, and pointless thoughts. I think when everyone speaks about consumption, they always talk about like exterior consumption, but they don't talk about the interior consumption and the reels that's playing in their head over and over. That's detrimental and pointless and destructive to a certain extent. We need to figure out how to kind of eject those old VHS tapes, DVDs, and open yourself to do other things. Because I think too much time is wasted, as Judge Joe Brown would say, ideating on past events that can't be changed. Hours and hours, day after day. I don't think that's a good management of your time. And I do encourage you to figure that out, get some help, and see what's needed to eject the VHS. I'm saying VHS because it's old, Fight. The VHS and the DVDs, because it's not even streaming. Maybe you have some stuff in the streaming era that's bothering you too, but you definitely have to get up on your time management. But more than anything, man, just just work on being a man of your word. And I think, as far as I said, one of the greatest things you could do is say no. You're taking on too much stuff that you know. It's kind of screwed up. You know you're not going to do it, and you know you can't do it, and you're looking that person in the eye, telling them you're going to do it. Now that person is depending on you doing it. You know you're not going to do it. So just tell them, I'm too busy at the time, or nah, I can't do it right now. Respect same way. Stop.
I just gonna continue.
No, I was just going to tell people, stop committing to things that you know you're not going to do. Please.
I know in a way, so there's two parts to it, right? I touched upon the first piece where it's this concept of bravery and courage. A lot of people are not courageous enough if to tell somebody no, or tell somebody say they can't, they're not capable of doing this. They don't understand that this is actually a strength. It's a strength to let people know that you can't, to make somebody aware of what you can or cannot do. It shows your character more. Because if you tell somebody you can do something but you know you can't do it, then that dwindles your and belittles your character. And if your character is dwindled and belittled, there's no blessings that can come forward in any business relationship, any personal relationship, because people will not take you serious. You might think they take you serious, but you don't realize that people will move faster in a quick split of a second. And that is one of the main things. And then, but we think about a solution now where a lot of people need for one of the key characteristics and components where always lead to people not being a man of their word is communication. I think this aspect of communication skills, we need to work on our communication skills a lot more, because if we have improved communication skills, that will actually boost and heighten our credibility, our character, because sometimes we don't even mean to make a message come off that way, like we're implying to do something, but the way that we say it in a boastful tone, or we give the implications that we can carry out this task to the fullest extent, but we actually can do it. So I feel like the communication skills, and then as we mentioned before, to the part of the communication is efficient. Now we talk about the time management piece. You have to make sure that time management, you can communicate that time management, not just create that time management, but actually communicate it. So if, as there is a 4 hour in advance, as soon as you know, or as soon as you realize that this can't work, you have to always communicate that, because people don't understand that over communication is better. You over communicate than under communicate, you know. Because once you over communicate, now people will respect you and know, so you always keep them up to tune with the most latest reality. And them call it frequency in the world of marketing. We have to understand the concept of frequency. And we hear about music and we hear about frequency, but we not even understand how frequency play a role in our life. And we have to really think about the concept of frequency, the message that we bring across in the aspect of communication. It's part of the frequency. So the frequency have to ride. It have to come at the right intervals, or even more intervals than needed to make sure the message get across. Because if you bring this interval across 5 times, but it only needed to get brought across twice, then now you've just put that message out there that this is the ultimate. And from people understand the ultimate, even if they get the ultimate more than they need, the ultimate was already given, as opposed to a lower frequency, where that lower frequency is only going to drag it down because that message never actually come across in the right intervals.
Reality sounds far right. And one last thing I want to talk about is that I've observed is that people who are actually very talented are very efficient in what they do, but they're not reliable. And those are the people you hear complaining the most about the world fighting them. No one's fighting you. The talent is great. You know what I'm saying? The talent is great. But if you can't deliver consistently, no one wants to work with you. Because I always hear everyone's telling me how everybody fighting them down. Like that's usually what I hear. Like usually once I step out my house, somebody telling me like tell me about who fighting you down in life on my forehead. That's the reason that I get people fighting them down and this and that. And I listen, and you learn so much when you actually just let people talk and listen. And after listening, I'm kind of like, I don't know if they really fight you down, Fire, because based on what you know how bad it is when a man incriminates himself. Well, hold on, Fire. You know how bad it is when a man end up incriminating himself, because usually they kind of sway it that they the victim. But it's so bad that even though they try to play the victim, they still expose where they drop the ball. You know? And for my people out there that may be very skillful at a particular thing, some of the struggles that you have, you know, on your job or things that you're pursuing, is that you have to ask yourself, as far as stated, am I communicating properly with people? And am I delivering in the time frame that I should or the time frame that's agreed? Am I accessible, especially when it comes to business? Especially when it comes to business. People can't find you, fire. People call you, they can't find you. People paid you for a service, they can't find you. That's not how the game goes. That is not how the game goes. You know, so I appreciate you bringing up that point on communication. For all the brothers listening, we do ask that you work on being a man of your word. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It is a game changer, and you actually get more time to yourself and find yourself doing less and then less pressure or uncomfortable. I just told a man no earlier today. I had a bunch of calls earlier today. One Bridgen had the reason with the Bridgen. He was telling me something. I said, Fire, truthfully, my mind's just focused up to Thursday, Fire. I got a bunch of stuff going on to Thursday. After that, we can reason about it. I want to be truthful with the man. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not concerned with anything after Thursday right now. I'm only dealing with all the stuff I'm dealing with to Thursday. Because I don't want the man go talk to me. I'm not listening. I don't know what the man talking about in his fire. Later,
you have that.
Yeah, you have my full attention. Then we could build from there. But for there, my mind's not on that. Communication. And communication doesn't make you softer. Like, Fire, you brought up, I want to stretch out the argument, but you brought up a great point. You remember how you said people don't want to tell people no? I think that, I don't know, man. People are tricky because, like, sometimes they try to act confrontational, but they're not really confrontational. They try to avoid all like uncomfortable things, and it's like they find themselves putting themselves in a weird position. Because I remember when I was younger, they used to take me to church. I used to hear the older people complain about what they didn't want to do, what they want to do, and they should have just told the person no, right? Oh, I should have just told them no. Oh, I should have just told them no. So, fine, why you ain't tell the man no? Then you gotta leave your house, take the bus over here, be at the church for 10 hours for doing something you don't want to do. You have something else to do. Now you compounding your stress because you still got the other stuff you have to do, and you giving your time over here. Just tell the person no, man. Can't do it at the time, man. Sorry about that. Next time, or when I have time, I'll let you know. But in defense of everyone, it's a skill that's needs to be learned. Some people learn it on their own. Some people, maybe we got to do a workshop or something on telling people no. You know what I'm saying? It's just a proper way to tell people no via text message, on the phone, email, how to tell people I'm running late. Not if you're supposed to be there at 5 o'clock, you're not calling that person at 4:45. You're not calling that person at 5:05. You're calling that person at 5:15. From 9 a.m. if you know like how this day run and be late, notify the person so they know, so they can set up the thing. Because you're stressing them out now if they're depending on you to do something at 5 and you can't show up.
Yeah. The worst, that is the worst thing. And again, we would think both even bring it back to the concept of business. It's so disrespectful, Fire, because it's almost like I can't, you know, them tell about this concept of bullying. Most people they will not even understand, so not living up to your word is like bullying, and then it can be interpreted several ways. Because imagine a man pay you now for your service, and a man pay you for your service, and you still have the audacity for late with a man work for a service where a man pay you for. So now it's almost like you tell that man say there's nothing that he can do but just wait on you. So it go back again to the concept of people feeling like this talent thing is the end all be all, where you just have this talent, and because you have talent, a man supposed to just understand that you don't send in your work on time. No, they don't work like that. For you. It's almost like we're too much into ourselves, and we're into ourselves, but yet still we're not self-reflecting. So we're into ourselves and a beat with chest, say we are this and we are that, but we're not reflect for understand, you really mess up in this, you know. It's this concept I want to look tough enough for you. Everybody want to look tough, and they don't have the courage nor the militancy, but every single body want to look tough. And that is really the problem and the stem a lot of these things for you. You want to look tough, not realizing that how are you going to look tough? You look more tough. You look, to me, a man look tougher when time I see him dep on him game and him produce some work and him consistent with him work, and people him well revered and people think about him highly. I look on him different now. I'm respect him because I can see some results, some tangible results, some also intangible results to show. If the results are not there to show, oh, a man I go say I go work is working on an album, but there's no result to show. Or a man says he's working on music, he's working on a project, he's writing a book, he's doing something. All of these things, there's result to show in every single thing that you do. Like when you were in school, and that is that exam, or you have that SBA or that project that you have to hand in. That's the result. That's what you have to show that you understand the concept. You do this thing. You have that paper. You have that certificate from school to show that you completed this course. How did you complete this course? You have to submit some particular work, and then with that work that you submitted, they judge you after that. So we don't even understand the concept of like, this is really a big thing in our life. If anything else to you seems small, this topic should not be overlooked.
Serious thing. We may have to do a part 2 in regards to being a man of your word to yourself. Maybe we should have started there, you know. So we give thanks for everyone listening, encouraging the brothers out there, the sisters too, but message for the brothers. Be a man of your word. Do remember all about 420 celebration on 420, starting at 420, $42 to enter. Like the kitchen. We'll be outside, fire buffet and vibes. You know, I go already after reminding people, make sure you log on to ineverknewtv.com premium. Easy on the YouTube fire. We try and build our own thing there. Make sure you support more of the uncensored interviews. Because since I've been doing this, I really have to chop out certain things people say to meet YouTube's strict community guidelines. And we're in a position now where we could give you the raw thing from people from around the world. So make sure you tune in. ineverknewtv.com premium.
Yes, sir.
Hold on.